त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् निधनपतये नमः निधनपतान्तिकाय नमः ऊर्ध्वाय नमः ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः हिरण्याय नमः हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः सुवर्णाय नमः सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः दिव्याय नमः दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः भवाय नमः भवलिङ्गाय नमः शर्वाय नमः शर्वलिङ्गाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवलिङ्गाय नमः ज्वलाय नमः ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः आत्माय नमः आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः परमाय नमः परमलिङ्गाय नमः एतत् सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गस्थापयति पाणिमन्त्रं पवित्रम् सद्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि सद्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः भवे भवेनाति भवे भवस्व मां भवोद्भवाय नमः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः सर्वभूतगमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः अघोरेभ्यो घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् ईशानः सर्वविद्यानाम् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो नमो हिरण्यबाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः ऋतगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः सर्वो वै रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु पुरुषो वै रुद्रः सन्महो नमो नमः विश्वं भूतं भुवनं चित्रं बहुधा जातं जायमानं च यत् स सर्वो ह्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु कद्रुद्राय प्रचेतसे मीडुष्टमाय तव्यसे वोचे मशन्तमगुं हृदे सर्वो ह्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
लंबोदरा गणनाथ गजानन लंबोदरा गणनाथ गजानन लंबोदरा गणनाथ गजानन लंबोदरा गणनाथ गजानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानन पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक प्रणवाकारा शंभो नंदन प्रणवाकारा शंभो नंदन प्रणवाकारा शंभो नंदन प्रणवाकारा शंभो नंदन पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानन पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानन
पुरीशा पाहि गजानन
पार्वती नंदन शुभानना
पार्वती नंदन
पार्वती नंदन शुभानना
पार्वती नंदन शुभानना
लंबोदरा गणनाथ गजानन भक्तवत्सल तेरु नाम ओ साई
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 दुख भंजन 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 तेरु नाम ओ साई
तुम संग बांधी प्रेम की डोरी
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 सुमिरन करो तेरो नाम ओ साई
सुमिरन करो तेरो नाम ओ साई
सुमिरन करो तेरो नाम
सुमिरन करो तेरो नाम
भक्ति तो धारण भक्त परायण
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 परतीश्वर साईरा
परतीश्वर साईरा
परतीश्वर साईरा
परतीश्वर साईरा
भक्तवत्सल तेरु नाम ओ साई
भक्तवत्सल तेरु नाम ओ साई
दुख भंजन तेरु नाम ओ साई
तेरु नाम ओ साई
तुम संग बांधी प्रेम की डोरी
तुम संग बांधी प्रेम की डोरी
सुमिरन करो तेरो नाम ओ साई
सुमिरन करो तेरो नाम ओ साई
भक्ति तो धारण भक्त परायण
धारण भक्त परायण
परतीश्वर साईरा
परतीश्वर साईरा
परतीश्वर साईरा
परतीश्वर साईरा
भक्तवत्सल तेरु नाम ओ साई श्री गुरु परतिवासा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
साई ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेशा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेशा
साई ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेशा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेशा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
अल्लाह भी तुम हो माला भी तुम हो
अल्लाह भी तुम हो मौला भी तुम हो
अल्लाह भी तुम हो मौला भी तुम हो
अल्लाह भी तुम हो मौला भी तुम हो
सौराष्ट्र महावीर यीशु 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 भी तुम हो
राम रहीम हो कृष्ण करीम हो
राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम
राम रहीम हो कृष्ण करीम हो
राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
साई ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेशा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेशा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
श्री गुरु परतिवासा
अल्लाह भी तुम हो मौला भी तुम हो
अल्लाह भी तुम हो मौला भी तुम हो
सौराष्ट्र महावीर यीशु भी तुम हो
सौराष्ट्र महावीर यीशु भी तुम हो
राम रहीम हो कृष्ण करीम हो
राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम
राम रहीम हो कृष्ण करीम हो
राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम
श्री गुरु परतिवासा दीन जनावनि वरदायिनी
दीन जनावनि वरदायिनी
दीन जनावनि वरदायिनी
दीन जनावनि वरदायिनी
ज्ञान स्वरूपिणी नारायणी
ज्ञान स्वरूपिणी नारायणी
ज्ञान स्वरूपिणी नारायणी
ज्ञान स्वरूपिणी नारायणी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
ईश्वरी अम जगदीश्वरी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
ईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
वेदरूपिणी वागीश्वरी
वेदरूपिणी वागेश्वरी
वेदस्वरूपिणी वागीश्वरी
वेदस्वरूपिणी वागेश्वरी
प्रेम दीनजनावनि वरदायिनी
दीनजनावनि वरदायिनी
ज्ञानस्वरूपिणि नारायणी
ज्ञानस्वरूपिणि नारायणी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
वेदरूपिणि वागीश्वरी
वेदरूपिणि वागेश्वरी
वेदस्वरूपिणि वागीश्वरी
वेदस्वरूपिणि वागेश्वरी
प्रेमप्रदायिनि परतीश्वरी
प्रेमप्रदायिनि परतीश्वरी
माता महेश्वरि मनमोहिनी
माता महेश्वरि मनमोहिनी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
साईश्वरी अम्ब जगदीश्वरी
दीनजनावनि वरदायिनी
Swami, take my hand, Jesus, take my hand, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Swami, take my hand, Jesus, take my hand, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
When never forget you, you'll always be with me, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
I'll never forget you, you'll always be with me, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Guide and protect her, mother and father, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Guide and protect her, mother and father, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Swami, take my hand, Jesus, take my hand, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Swami, take my hand, Jesus, take my hand, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
I'll never forget you, you'll always be with me, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
I'll never forget you, you'll always be with me, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Guide and protect her, mother and father, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Guide and protect her, mother and father, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
Teach me loving service, peace and contentment, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way. Swami, take my hand, Jesus, take my hand, dear Lord, take my hand and lead the way.
मुरली कृष्णा मुकुंद कृष्णा मोहन कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा
मुरली कृष्णा मुकुंद
Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Murali Krishna, Mukund Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Murali Krishna, Mukund Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Gopi Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Govardhan Dhar 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 Krishna Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Bal Krishna, Ras Vilola Krishna Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Bala Krishna, Rasa Vilola Krishna Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Bal Krishna, Ras Vilola Krishna Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Bala Krishna, Rasa Vilola Krishna Krishna.
Shirdi Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Shirdi Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Shirdi Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Shirdi Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Murali Krishna, Mukund Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Murali Krishna, Mukund Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Gopi Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Govardhan Dhar Krishna Krishna.
Gopi Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Govardhan Dhar Krishna Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Bal Krishna, Ras Vilola Krishna Krishna.
Radha Krishna, Bala Krishna, Rasa Vilola Krishna Krishna.
Shirdi Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Shri Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Shirdi Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Shri Krishna, Parti Krishna, Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Om Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Om Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Jai Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Jai Shri Sathya Sai Krishna Krishna.
Murali Krishna, Mukund Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
प्रेम से बोलो एक बार साई राम। 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 बोलो राम साई राम। बोलो राम साई राम। Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. 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 यीशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाहु अकबर, शिरडी साई भक्ति साई तुम्हारो। यीशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाहु अकबर, शिरडी साई भक्ति साई तुम्हारो। यीशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाहु अकबर, शिरडी साई भक्ति साई तुम्हारो। यीशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाहु अकबर, शिरडी साई भक्ति साई तुम्हारो। नानक जी तुम्हारो, गुरु नानक जी तुम्हारो। नानक जी तुम्हारो, गुरु नानक जी तुम्हारो। सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम्हारो, सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम्हारो। सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम्हारो, सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम्हारो। यीशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो, यीशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो। यीशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो, यीशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो। अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो, अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो। साई अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो, साई अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो। अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर। यीशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाहु अकबर, शिरडी साई भक्ति साई तुम्हारो। यीशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाहु अकबर, शिरडी साई भक्ति साई तुम्हारो। नानक जी तुम्हारो, नानक जी तुम्हारो। सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम्हारो, सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम्हारो। यीशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो, यीशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो। अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो, अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो। साई अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो, साई अल्लाहु अकबर तुम हो। अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर्रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इह्दिनास सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि वलद्दोलीन आमीन।
Om Sai Ram, dear sisters and brothers, I thank you most kindly for affording me this opportunity to share some thoughts and ideas on the religion of Islam, on the month of Ramadan, and on the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. These are all interlinked. Eid al-Fitr, as you're aware, is the culmination of the end of the fasting period. And the fasting period, the month of Ramadan, is one of the fundamental pillars of Islam. Before I proceed further, I want to share some thoughts, part of a discourse that Swami had given. He mentioned, Islam is a word which denotes not a particular religion, but a state of mind. The state of total surrender to the will of God. Islam means dedication, surrender, peace, and tranquility. So here Swami encapsulated the goal of Islam. And we're going to share some thoughts with you. I'll share some thoughts and ideas with you during the course of my talk. He further mentioned in a divine discourse on 12th July 1983, Swami said, Islam means dedication, surrender, peace, and tranquility. The Ramadan month is set apart for the holy task of bringing into memory and practicing the teachings of Prophet, the teaching that Prophet Muhammad conveyed, and progressing spiritually to attain unity and purity. And we stress that word, and progressing spiritually to attain unity and purity. Islam teaches that God's grace can be won through justice and righteous living. Justice and righteous living. Wealth, scholarship, and power cannot earn it. Pure love alone can please the Lord. Muslim seers emphasize that we must inquire into the validity of the I which feels it is the body and the I which feels it is the mind, and reach the conclusion that the real I is the self that is yearning for the omni-self, that is God. The Ramadan month, fasting and prayers are designed and awakened to manifest this realization. All religions emphasize on unity, harmony, and equal-mindedness. Therefore, cultivate love, tolerance, and compassion, and demonstrate the truth in every daily activity. This is the message I give to you with my blessings. So when we examine the 5 pillars on which the belief system, the religion of Islam stands, Salam Islam, the root word means peace, Shanti. So there are 5 fundamental pillars. The first is the belief. Belief in divinity, belief in the creation of divinity, belief in the various states of being, awareness, and consciousness, known as heaven. Okay. Belief in accountability for our actions. So the first fundamental is belief. Now this is akin to the human value Swami speaks about, truth. The second fundamental pillar on which Islam is built is on righteousness. Now the righteousness in Islam, that value system is inculcated via the 5 daily prayers, where you stand before your Lord with humility and submission, and that regulates your conduct and the manner in which you deal with matters associating with living, the society, the community, your relationship with your Lord. And the aim and objective of all of this is to come closer to divinity and merge into divinity finally. The third fundamental pillar of Islam is fasting, and the objective of fasting, which we'll discuss, is to inculcate the human value of peace. The fourth fundamental pillar is the giving of charity, known as zakat. This inculcates the human value of unconditional love in the human being, in the practitioner. The fifth fundamental pillar is the performance of the pilgrimage once in your lifetime, if you are in that position to do so, health, financial well-being, and that truth, righteousness, peace, love, harmlessness, all of which leads to selflessness. the sixth from the, or sometimes known as karma, or the debt that we have inherited from previous lives, both good and bad. So all of us are a combination of three basic things Swami's mentioned: the animal self, the human self, and the divine self. And all human beings, we are on this pilgrimage, this transformational journey from the animal self to the human self, and from there into mergence with the divine. And this is our journey. All human beings that have lived, all human beings that are currently living, and all human beings that will inhabit bodies in the future. This is the goal of human evolution, that once we are born, over time we have to merge into the ocean of divine consciousness. We have to actually break the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Now, the month of Ramadan is specifically set aside for that noble task of intensifying your spiritual efforts so that you reach your natural state, which is peace, salam, Islam, shanti. Your natural state, that human beings, our natural state is that state of peace. From that state of peace, we transform ourselves to the highest state of peace, profound peace, and ultimately prashanti, which is supreme peace or bliss. And that is the journey. And in this month, with the intensification of spiritual effort, this type of exercises, this type of focus is made much easier. The entire month is blessed by abstaining from food, drink, carnal activities, and controlling of the senses. Very important. And Swami has mentioned this in many of his discourses. Spirituality is about controlling, rigorous control of the senses. And this month of Ramadan makes that training, that discipline very easy. So when we examine the month of Ramadan, the emphasis is on this intensification of your prayers, fasting, reading of the Quran. The Quran is a guidance and a mercy to all mankind. The Quran initial revelation started in the month of Ramadan, and it continued by a series of revelations to Prophet Muhammad over a period of 23 years. So it's a compilation. And in this month, recitation of the Quran is encouraged quite a bit, because in it lies a lot of the solutions to the challenges that we face as individuals and as mankind as a whole. So if you look at the month of Ramadan itself, Prophet Muhammad said it's broken up into 10-day periods, so to speak, the entire month. So the first 10 days, very prominent in the first 10 days, is the mercy of God, the love. God is love and He is merciful. He's one of the names of God is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, most merciful, most loving, most gracious, many other qualities. But the quality of mercy is paramount, of love. The second 10 days has to do with purification or forgiveness of all sins. All the things that we have accumulated in this life, in our previous lives, that is, emphasis is on that. Forgiveness of sins or purification. The last 10 days has to do with emancipation or liberation, as we know it and as we understand it. And during this period, that sequence is very important for us as human beings also in our journey in life, where we on this pilgrimage to transform ourselves until we finally merge. So the first is the love of God. And to get the love of God, we have to show love to His creation. Okay. Secondly, it's about purification of the heart. Now, purification is a bit of a broad concept to understand, but it's about doing good actions so we can nullify some of the baggage that we have brought from previous lives. And we can also try to be virtuous. So remember, Swami mentioned very clearly the 6 things, the diseases that afflict man, human beings. So it's desire, anger, greed, attachment, egotism, envy. So those are the main key ones. And in this month of Ramadan, those negative qualities are easily subdued. And by the continuing some of the disciplines after the month of Ramadan, it's subdued that, allowing the spiritual light to shine more in an individual and making the journey to God consciousness much easier. God mentions in the Quran, I have prescribed fasting to you, the followers of Islam, as he has prescribed fasting to those before, the Jews, the Christians, and all the other faiths belief systems, that fasting is integral as part of the sadhana. And the reason for it is so that you may attain God consciousness. So it's very clear the objective of fasting. So some of the things that one is encouraged to do in this month is to stay away from all sorts of arguments, all sorts of carnal activities, sense control, and giving of charity. Very important. Zakat, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the pillars of Islam, okay, where it inculcates the value of love, unconditional love. Now, it is incumbent that if you have money over and above your needs, a minimum of 2.5% of that, you must give it away to charity. So it is the duty of the rich to ensure that the needs of the poor are met. Now, rich could be, once you have anything excess of your needs and your liabilities, then you must dispose. Because Islam believes very strongly in social equity and social justice. So although you must give zakat throughout the year, there's no specific period. Many people dispose of their zakat also in the fasting month of Ramadan. Okay? Then the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan are also very auspicious. And I mentioned the issue, the last 10 days, emphasis on liberation. Particularly in the odd nights, Prophet Muhammad instructed his followers in the odd nights of Ramadan, there's a very special and an auspicious night, and it is known as the night of Laylatul Qadr, or the night of power, or the night of decree. Now, it is found in the odd nights, in the last 10 days of Ramadan. But globally, it is observed normally on the 27th night. Now, this particular night is very auspicious because worship, prayer, whatever you do, remembrance of God, in that particular time period, in that particular night, is akin to worship of 1,000 months. So a great boon has been given during that particular moment in time. And Prophet Muhammad instructed his followers to basically increase their sadhana, so to speak, particularly in the last 10 days, and in particular, the odd nights of the last 10 days. Pre-lockdown period, when people could conglomerate in places of worship, the mosques, in the last 10 days, they encourage seclusion known as ihtikaf. So that helps you with your sadhana, to intensify your sadhana. However, if that is not possible, then within the comfort of your home, particularly in the last 10 days, your additional sadhanas in the last 10 days are encouraged. Then when the end of fasting comes, the last day of fasting in South Africa, today will be the last day, tomorrow will be Eid, then it is known as the night of prize giving, also a very auspicious night. The power, the energies on the night of Laylatul Qadr, the last night, is very similar. The entire atmosphere is infused with tranquility and peace. Very similar, the energy vibration is very similar to the nights of Mahashivaratri, the nights of Deepavali. You notice there's a peace and a quiet and a calm and a tranquility that descends on the earth. And you can actually feel it, and it's palpable. So these are some of the great boons that God Almighty has granted to mankind, that via the sadhana of fasting, observances of the various disciplines, and prayer in the holy nights in particular, they have a lot of benefits. Sins are forgiven. Now, with regard to the issue of sins and purification, I just want to share two things. Sometimes we say that, I've prayed on this particular night, I've observed all the, why have all my prayers not been answered? Prayers are answered sooner or later. But diseases, spiritual diseases or sins are of three types. And I like to give the analogy of dust or dirt. So sometimes if there's dust on the wall, slight feather duster can remove that speck, not a problem. Sometimes the dust or the dirt is a bit more ingrained, then there you need detergent. So a bit of hard scrubbing without damaging the wall is necessary. Sometimes the defect is deep inside the wall. That takes a bit of time. And then there you have to look at go to a divine surgeon, and he has to sort that matter out. So it doesn't mean that you observe one fast or one holy night and all the problems are solved. It depends on the level of baggage that we carry. But the mercy and the benediction of God Almighty is always, always with all his creation. And with sincerity and honesty, the journey to him is made much easier. So this period of fasting provides that platform. The end of the fast culminates with the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. So what is the meaning of Eid? Celebration, fitra actually means nature. So it is the celebration of your essential nature, which is peace. And from that level, you make the transition to profound peace, and then from there to prashanti, which is supreme peace, supreme bliss. So it's a journey that takes an entire lifetime over many years. And that is the fundamental message. So what happens on Eid Day, there too, once again, followers are highly requested to give charity to those who are not able to enjoy the day. So a charity that is specifically given on this day is known as Sadaqatul Fitr. So before you embark with the Eid prayer, in fact, Prophet Muhammad said that your fast stands in abeyance until you are given Sadaqatul Fitr. So it's an obligatory charity that you have to give on the day or before the day of Eid to ensure that those who don't have can also enjoy the day and celebrate the day. So that is basically my brief discussion, talk on the day of Eid, on Islam, on the fasting month of Ramadan, and the day of Eid. So after the day of Eid, there are 6 additional fasts that you can keep after the day of Eid. And the Prophet Muhammad said that those who keep that fast, it is like they fast the entire year. Okay. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. It's the 9th month. That number 9 is very significant. So if you look at 9 has a quite great quality. So 9 times 2 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 threes are 27, 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 fours are 36, 6 plus 3 is 9. So it's a very significant number in numerology. And hence the month of Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. Thank you for that opportunity, and Jai Sai Ram to each and every one of you.
बुद्ध तू स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तू सविता पावक तू ब्रह्म वस्व तू यम शक्ति तू येसु पिता प्रभु तू रुद्र विश्व तू राम कृष्ण तू रहीम ताऊ तू रहीम ताऊ तू वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तू चिदानंद हरि तू अद्वितीय तू अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू
असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपदे स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपदे आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद बांधवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता गुरुदैवमु मर्यन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मर्यन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंदुको मंगल हारति अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थैस्वार्थमोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं
and blessed Eid to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters. The talk today was kindly suggested by a centre member who listened to it the other day. I thought it was very informative and inspiring, and the video was beautiful. If you just saw the love in the eyes of Swami there as he was watching the little boy say his prayer, utterly beautiful. So thank you very much for advising on that. Thank you to all who have submitted bhajans as well and songs. We will be using them regularly, so please do send more in to Jwalith or Pragasan. The next study circle, to be hosted by a guest, is planned to take place on Monday the 1st of June. Ahead of this, please read the next 3 chapters of the Unity to Purity booklet that was sent through by email recently. That's ahead of 1st of June, please. And please continue to join the recitation of the 9 Gayatri mantra every day at 9 o'clock in the evening for world peace and healing. On to Seva. Thank you so much for the fantastic response to the Stranded Students Seva opportunity. We've learned this week that over the last few days, out of the 15 students originally identified, several have managed to get onto repatriation flights. We're therefore awaiting a revised list from Seva Trust UK before pairing up volunteers with students. It is still expected to commence from 1st of June. A process will be shared in due course to everyone, which also highlights very important health and safety and safeguarding measures as well. So if you get that, please do read it and take close attention to it, please. This week also, it's been identified that help is needed at the Peace Pagoda in 2 ways. Firstly, small deliveries of fruit and veg are needed on a weekly basis. If you would like to volunteer to procure and deliver this on a rota, please contact Anesh. Secondly, some gardening at the Peace Pagoda is also needed, particularly weeding. This, of course, can only be done individually or as a family unit, not as a group, for social distancing reasons. And it is recommended you use your own tools. But if you are available to help, perhaps the youth or others, please contact Anesh again, who will be able to give you more information. We've also re-promoted this week the making of visors. We did check out with MK Hospital, who say that they have sufficient PPE at the moment. But thanks to information provided, we're contacting all care homes in Milton Keynes to see who needs extra supplies. But details of how to make these visors was sent through on the email this week. So please do take a look. And if you can help, please do so. Also, there's quite a lot today, apologies. Food bank are also in desperate need. Again, if you can take stuff directly to a food bank or community fridge, then please do so. However, this week at an OB team meeting, we recommended resuming a monthly donation to the food bank. If anybody has any objections to that, please do let me know. And then finally, in terms of Seva, a date for your diary, this one, the Midnight Moo, that many of us have been involved in over the past many years, has not been cancelled this year. It has been postponed to 12th of September. So please put that date in your diary, and more information will be sent out closer to the time. But please put that date in your diary. Finally, I'd like to, I shared this week details of how we can contribute to global Guru Purnima celebrations by sending a photograph and literally a 5-second audio message to the media team. It literally only takes a few seconds, a few minutes to do, and would be lovely to have your contribution. So please have a look at the email that I sent through on Wednesday and follow up on that. So it'd be lovely to have Milton Keynes Sai Centre and all of you represented in that. So have a lovely, safe week. Peace to you all. Sai Ram. Bye-bye.